Constellations on LSD. Thanks for tuning in. You could have been anywhere else. Decided to be here with me, so I always want to show gratitude, always want to show appreciation, always want to let you guys know that I'm so grateful that you're rocking out here with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for the sessions. Thank you for the confirmations. Thank you to each and every one of you. Now, concepts and conversations and concepts. Conversations and concepts. Trying to keep this going, right? So, point of view. I, at times, want the relationship more than the person. I love to feel loved, not necessarily by someone specific. Now, who is most likely going to feel connected to this energy? Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Now, if you don't have these placements and you still feel connected to this, then this is for you as well. So, at times, I want the relationship more than the person. I love to feel loved, but not necessarily by someone specific. You want to meet some people who love, who can find that they're more infatuated with the concept around relationships and having someone with them than actually being discerning and intentional in the being. Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Sometimes these people can just want a body. They just want somebody to be under. They just want to be able to do the date nights, and they want to be able to do the photo shoots, and they just have this whole ideal around them and someone else. Libra, Scorpio, Aquarius. But then comes into a point in their life where they're like, instead of focusing on so much of just the relationship aspect and just having someone to hold me, am I actually with the right person? So Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius has a lifelong lesson of needing to really vet people out before you call them your partner, your person, your friend, your brother, your sister. Vet them out. Because you might find that with these placements, sometimes you might be sleeping with the enemy. You might be sleeping with someone that you thought was on your side, but in realizing that they're not. So it's important to vet people and not just be consumed in the fact that you have someone to lay next to you, that you have someone to go out with, that you have someone to just exist in this ideal of what you think a relationship should look like, should be like. Now, this is also associated with those who have planets in these houses. So, for 7th house, 8th house, 9th house. Now, Libra's cardinal energy. So, a big thing with cardinal energy is reputation, societal respect, a sense of professionalism, longevity. Libra placements can be really focused on that in their relationships. Libra has to be careful, since it's cardinal, that they're not getting into a relationship because it's time. Cardinals, like I spoke before in posts and videos, can put biological clocks on them. I need to be married by this age. I need to have this child by this age. We need to buy this house by this age. And they can fall into partnerships because they're putting a certain biological clock on themselves. They're putting certain types of accomplishments, missions, passion, quests based on age. I'm trying to find the word with cardinal. It's like they are success driven, success focused in every parts of their lives. So they attach relationships to points of success for themselves. Like, it'll be a cardinal, for example. It'll be a cardinal that's like, okay, I finally got the job that I needed. I finally accomplished certain things. Now it's time for a relationship. And while that makes sense, it's especially for Libra, are you getting into the relationship because you really love this person and you want this person? Or are you getting into this relationship because you feel like it's time to be in a relationship? So whoever is available at the moment while you are in this space of accomplishment, of feeling like, you know, I'm prepared, that it's time for the relationship. And this is where cardinal Libra energy can fall short, because you're more looking at what is picture perfect and what is the ideal of how a person's life should play out, that you end up being with someone that may not be good for you, that embarrasses you, that ruins your reputation, that ruins your credibility. You end up with situations with people where you're building an entire life because you're at a point in your life where you feel like it's time for you to show your maturity in relationships, show your elevation in relationships, that now you're in a PR situation with someone. It'll be Libra dynamics that can feel like they are, because they now publicly claimed this person, that they must now attach them to all of their paths, their missions, their accomplishments. And then one day they're laying down and realizing like, yo, I've done so many things, so many great things in my life, and I'm standing next to someone that I don't feel deserves to be here with me. Or where you become a co-conspirator, and all of them can, with someone that doesn't really align with who you are. So Libras gotta ask themselves, do I just really want the relationship because I feel like I should just have one and I should just be in one? I'm a lover boy, a lover girl. Then I end up with people that I'm realizing that I'm not equally yoked with. Are you more in love with love than people? Libra. Where these signs can even feel like they've never even really been single. Or when they are single, there is just this craving for someone else, or this fear of merging with someone else and losing themselves. But there's always this tension with me and someone else, themselves and someone else. Now Scorpio, same thing. At times I want the relationship more than the person. I love to feel loved, not necessarily by someone specific. So with Scorpio, I did a post on Scorpio energy and how it can be a martyr. It can be very self-sacrificing because it wants to heal people. So Scorpios could take on love interests that initially were a person that they should be healing and they should be helping get through trials and tribulations, but now this is their lover. So Scorpios have to be careful that they don't become the lover and the nurse, the lover and the psychologist, the lover and the practitioner, the healer. And you can do that, but where is the boundaries? Because Scorpio may find that they are, they don't feel like, so with Scorpio energy, they can feel like they shouldn't be alone, especially if they are sexually active, especially if they want to be sexually active. So Scorpio may feel like, since I like sex, since I want to have sex, and I don't want to have sex with just any old body, let me just get in a relationship. But then you don't want to be in a relationship or fall into some sort of deep commitment because it was just based on some good sex. That's why Scorpios may feel like they have to practice celibacy at times and completely refrain from sex so they don't fall into a relationship that they don't want to be in. So it's going to be a dilemma for Scorpios. How do I have good sex and be honest and be a good person while not necessarily being in love with someone? And they may not be able to balance that out because they're like, I'm having so much, like, we're hunching, we're doing this thing together. We might as well just, get together. And you don't want to fall into that, Scorpio, that because you were having some sort of healing moment with someone, connection with someone, that really spiked your psyche, that you now feel like you need to come on full board to be their nurse, to be their girlfriend, to be their boyfriend, to be their husband, their wife. Because then you're realizing that you ended up marrying and connecting yourself financially, literally bonded based on a trauma bond. Or based on indulgence. I was just going over there to feel good. I was just going over there to have a good time. I was just going over there to get over something. And I fell back into a relationship. So like Libra, Scorpio, you don't want to just be in love with love and then falling in love with people that are now you realizing are disturbed, come with some shit. And because of this, now there's a threat to your resources. There's a threat to your stability because of who you decided to connect with. Since Scorpio is also fixed, it wants to be claimed. It wants to be fixated on someone. It needs to be fixated on something. And that's what can happen in these relationships, that Scorpios may realize they become fixated on someone that they didn't necessarily like that. They more so was in love with the relationship. So they become fixated on the relationship, and now it makes it seem like they're fixated on the person. That's why you'll find a lot of Scorpio placements that can be so loyal and enmeshed with a partner that they don't even fully trust. They don't really sees their vulnerability, because they're in it more into the space of, I've already invested here, I've already put so much energy here, I might as well stay. And that's why Scorpios can get into a lot of trouble in the love life, especially with like just wars, grudges, issues, domestic violence, certain intense dynamics with Scorpio, because of this trauma bond that they've had with this person, the investments they've made, the enduring, the weight that they've held for this person, that it's not going to be an easy let go. It's not going to be an easy separation. So they need to really ask themselves, did I fall in love because at that time I needed help, or you needed help? And where do you realize that you fell in love with the help? Or you fell in love because you fell in love with the relationship because it gave you a sense of security at that time, but not necessarily because of this person. Sagittarius, at times I want the relationship more than the person. I love to feel loved, not necessarily by someone specific. And Sagittarius already has a reputation for that, where they are philanderers, they are serial daters, serial lovers. They need that excitement. They need that diversity. So Sagittarius as well could have something going on where they love, but not necessarily the person. Out of all three, they're actually the ones that can have, that can really embody this energy where they just want a body. So they really just want a body. I had to tell my daughter to do a few things. Back. Sagittarius. So back to Sagittarius. So Sagittarius might ask themselves, do I want the body and not necessarily the person? Maybe I just want the body. Maybe right now I just want something underneath me. I'm passionate. I'm hot. So I just want somebody. That's why the Sagittarius can be known to have a few flings in their life. And even if they are coupled early, where they may, even within relationships, want a body, someone else. Because like with the other two signs, Sagittarius can feel that they're more invested in the relationship, the fact that I'm with somebody, and not necessarily that specific person. Sometimes they just need someone to get their mind off things. They're known to be world travelers, so they just might meet people on their travels people that they're meeting along the way, that within that moment, within that experience, that now we build something. That's why for men, they have like a bad rapport when it comes to commitment. Because they're Jupiterian, so Sagittarius men are usually men who are married or usually men who are in some sort of, commitment relationship going on. They're easily courted and they court people easily as well. Sagittarius energy. But since they are strong, they are strongly mental, and it's ever changing, they can ask themselves as well, is it really just one person, a specific person, or is it really just a relationship that I'm chasing? A type of relationship that I want. And whoever fills the blank, fills the blank. They have to ask themselves within relationships where they still need that freedom. They don't want to be tied down. Sagittarius, even in women, you have to be careful that they don't have like this rolling stone energy going on, where they're going from relationship to relationship to relationship to relationship, because they're not really assessing the person. Since Sagittarius, mutable energy, communicative energy, they might feel like they can talk to they might need different people to talk about different things. And sometimes one person doesn't hold all the doesn't hold all the space to understand all the components of your mind. And you might need different types of people to fill in that oneness that you're looking for. Sagittarius. And that's why sometimes they can really fall short with themselves and really contemplate what is this soulmate? All three of these signs really ask themselves, what is this definition of soulmate? Because they can have some experience in meeting people, dating people, and still not necessarily finding that perfect. And even with three of these signs, they can find relationship. They can be in relationships that other people are like, you are so lucky, this is so perfect, this is true love. But they will still question if that is really their true love, because they have an ideal for a relationship. They can just want a relationship. And then after wanting the relationship, they start to ask themselves, what is the specific person? So if you have these placements, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, and sometimes you're asking yourself, should I be single? Should I be with someone? What is it? What is it? What is it? Because these signs are going to always ask themselves. They rule the third quadrant, the relationship quadrants. 7th, 8th, 9th house. Libra's going to ask themselves, I'm in a relationship with this person, but do I really want this person forever? Is this my forever? Libra have asked themselves, if this person is my forever, is this the representation that I really want as a partner? Is this person someone I'm intentional in choosing, or they just fit what I had going on with my resume? That's for all cardinals, but Libra. And Cardinal even has to ask them, Libra asks themselves, am I even just staying in this relationship because of time? And that could be another thing that Cardinals value. I've been with this person for 10 years, 5 years, 20. Cardinals could really value that. So Libra might hold on to that. I was with this person for so long. I did so many first things with this person. Everyone knows me for this person to be my partner in crime. What do I do? Then we have Scorpio. Scorpio's going to have to ask themselves, do I love this person? Or do I love the fact that I have a power and I feel like I have a purpose in this relationship? The Scorpio will feel like, oh, since I have a power and a purpose here, I should stay here. I should keep supporting this. I should keep enduring in this because there's a purpose here, right? There's a reasoning here. I'm here to help you. You told me you need me. You told me I was the only one you have. So I gotta stay. And I might color all my relationships like that. Whenever someone tells me that they need me and I'm all they have, we're together now. And vice versa. Because you were there for me and I needed you and I needed that support. Maybe we should just get together. Don't want to do that. Then you end up years later asking yourself, oh my God, am I staying in this relationship because I'm ashamed? Am I staying in this relationship because this person knows all my dirty secrets? Am I staying in this relationship because I can't afford to leave it? Sagittarius, gotta ask yourself, where are you going personally? Are you even wanting to stay in these environments to really commit to this person? Or you just passing through and you just connected with someone knowing that you aren't even sure if you are staying here long term? You gotta ask yourself that with Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you gotta ask yourself, will you turn a fling into a full-blown relationship? We was just creeping. We was just sneaking. And now we full-blown, like, you're my wife? You're my husband? Whoa. Did I settle? And where do you consistently settle? Because you just turned and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but mutables can fall into that. A one-night stand or a couple late nights into a full-blown relationship. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to be in circumstances where you're like turning flings into relationships, especially if you're not being conscious of the fact that, you know, like you didn't really give yourself a decision. You just let this flow into something way more. And that's not just for Sagittarius. That's for all mutables. Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius. We're just hanging out, chilling. There wasn't really any type of expectations on anything. Turned into now a full-blown relationship. Where we was just hanging out with friends of friends. And now, because we've seen each other a few times and we talked a few times, we hung out, we hooked up a few times. Now I'm at the wedding altar with you. Am I sure that's what I want? Because I could have just wanted the relationship. And now I got someone specific that I don't really know if I actually love and want to be with. Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius. Where can you admit that you love love? And sometimes you'll just let people assume position because they're just available at the moment. And where could it really possibly really benefit you? If at some point, I believe for these three signs, you should practice celibacy, abstinence, to at least find yourself outside of other people. So Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, at some point in your life. And I also believe that it will happen because it has to happen so you can really heal this. Where you will have to go through some period of solitude, abstinence, some sort of I need to be alone right now, by myself right now, before I commit to the next person. So always love. Appreciate y'all. That's what I got. So always love, always gratitude. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this with you. And I see y'all on the other side.